time. Hello, judges. For me, the perfect cup of coffee is more than having a strong flavor, but it also needs to convey the sense of origin, the genetic character, and the passion of the farmer. So today, I will serve you my definition of the perfect cup. Let's start with the coffee. I selected its geisha variety from Iris Estate by Jamison Savage, located in Volcan, Panama, at more than 1,900 meters above sea level, make it one of the highest coffee farms in the world. The elevation, combined with the fluctuation of temperature during night and day, creates more stress to the coffee tree, resulting in the cup that's more intense in flavor, with a better texture, which normally lack in this geisha variety. The process. This coffee went through a natural processing with anaerobic fermentation created by flushing the ferment tank with the CO2 to push out the oxygen to create oxygen-free environment. This creates a late fruit character in your cup of coffee. It's then slowly dried to preserve its genetic character, and together we can have more complexity in your cup. The roast. This coffee is roasted very light to minimize the caramelization, which can overshadow its original character that we're trying to preserve. Total roast time of 7 minutes with 1 minute development time. The brewing system. In order to make sure that each cup I serve for you is nothing less than a perfect, I have to create a foolproof brewing system for consistency based on using two equipment together. First is the drip assist. This helped me to control agitation and the flow inlet of the water. So no matter where I pour the water on top, it disperses water evenly underneath it. This creates more even extraction, translating to your cup as a better overall balance. If you look inside, you can see the outer rings with a small hole. That will help to disperse the water gently and slowly over the coffee bed, while the inner ring with a larger hole produce a stream of water for a faster flow rate. Switching between the two allows me to have both flexibility and consistency every time I brew a cup. Second pieces is the dripper. This called CT62. It combines advantages of both low bypass with fast flow rate dripper. If you look inside, you can see that the air channel is embedded inside of the dripper wall instead of ridges, making the paper filter to stick to the wall can minimize the bypass effect. The air channel is run straight from top to bottom at double the amount at the lower half. This helps to have a constant high flow rate throughout the whole brew. Both features of this dripper allow me to push for a higher extraction with low bitterness, for a cup that is sweeter and more intense in flavor. Now, next is the technique. So, I have created my own brewing technique, which I would like to share with you guys today. I call it a 3, 10, and 3 method. Each number represents the each number represents the water to coffee ratio in each stage. I'm using the ratio of 1 to 16. Start with 15 grams of fine grind coffee to 240 grams of 96 Celsius water, with the total of 4 pour. The water I'm using today is RO water because I found it bring out less caramelized flavor, but more of a lively acidity which normally lack in natural processing coffee. First stage, 3 to 1, is the minimum ratio that can consistently bloom the coffee. I'm pouring into both inner and outer rings of the drip assist to make sure that all the coffee is wet. Second stage, 10 to 1, is the optimum ratio needed to extract all the flavor of the coffee. In this stage, I divide the water into 2 pour, using the outer ring of drip assist to prolong contract time for more extraction. By changing the water volume in each pour, I can modulate balance between acidity and sweetness. First pour bring out more acidities and flavor created at origin, showing up when the cup is hot. Second pour bring out more sweetness and flavor created by roasting profile. Showing up when the cup is warm. For this coffee, I found that perfect balance is by dividing the water equally in each pour. Last stage is to adjust the strength, 1:1 for intensity or up to 3:1 for flavor separation. For this coffee, I'm leaning more toward clarity and transparency in the cup. So I'm using 3:1 ratio to create flavor separation. I'm using 85 Celsius water pouring into the inner rings to minimize contact time and extraction. For lower astringency and lower bitterness, you can experience that when the coffee is cool. Total brew time will be 2 minutes and 5 seconds, with 30-second interval between each pour, except for the last pour of 35 seconds for changing the temperature. In front of you is an info card on my brewing technique, so please take that back with you. You can refer back to my brewing technique by looking at the info card. Now, let's talk about experience you will get from this coffee. For the aroma up front, you will find Fuji apple, followed by raspberry, and then red cherry, and hibiscus at the end. For the flavor when it's hot, you find Fuji apple, followed by raspberry, sweet orange, and white honey. These are all characters of flavor that created at origin. When it's warm, the flavor is still the same. But with my brewing technique on the second stage, I'm turning the orange and the white honey into orange candy. When it's cool, the Fuji apple is turned more into like very late sweet apple. With more vibrant acidity, the orange candy turns into orange juice, followed by rooibos tea at the end. For aftertaste, you have long lingering sweetness aftertaste from hot to cold that remind me of orange juice. And a little bit of tartness of grapefruit at the end when it's cool. For acidity, is medium malic acidity. Remind me of red apple and raspberry when it's hot. When it's warm, it's become more complex with additional of mild citric acid. Remind me of raspberry. When it's cool, with more vibrant acidity, it's become like orange juice. For sweetness, it had a high sweetness from hot to cold, and it getting sweeter over time. When it's hot, it reminds me of red apple. When it's warm, it's candy-like. When it's cold, it's like orange juice. The body is medium in weight, but quality is exceptional, with smooth and silky texture, and getting juicier over time. Overall, this coffee is well balanced and rounded, with high separating flavor created by my brewing on the third stage. For evaluating the aroma of this coffee, for evaluating the aroma first, please use a cupping spoon to stir to release the aroma that trapped in the cup. For flavor, please use cupping spoon. For other attributes, please drink from the cup. So please do all of the evaluation after a call time. Here's for you. Please enjoy. Here's for you. Please enjoy. Here for you. Please enjoy. This is my definition of the perfection. I hope you like it. Thank you very much, Tom.
And thank you, Punthep from Thailand.